Good evening. This is Shachar Peled with our series on evolution and faith, and we are speaking. This is the fourth video about the way that there is differentiation and unification throughout evolution, and we have seen some differentiation and unification, and we will continue to discuss this in this video. So first we spoke about the differentiation of elements, different elements from the atoms and the electrons that are formed the whole periodic table eventually through suns, through supernovas and so on. But immediately with this differentiation comes unification. This unification is the ability of molecules to form from atoms. So the atoms, although they are distinct, are constantly seeking to unite in molecules. Then the next stage, we saw the differentiation of the organism from the outside. We saw the membrane that differentiates it. But this creates a unity of the creature itself. This creature within the membrane is an eye, is a whole. It's united. The same way goes on as we have the eukaryotes, where there is another membrane within, then the genetic material becomes organized, and the identity of the creature is able to move or to be transferred from one generation to another in a unified form through this differentiation that creates another differentiated creature that is an I, that is united. So the next step, step of differentiation is the invention of two sexes. And it's not something that one can take for granted, because there are many creatures who have more than two sexes. I know there's one snail that has about 5 different genders. We have the entire order of the social insects that have 3 genders. And we have other creatures with different arrangements, and of course we have the whole unicellular world, which just it mutates. It doesn't mutate. It clones itself, and that's it. It splits into 2, and it sprouts a new one. There's no need for sexes. They don't look for each other. So the differentiation of the sexes is something new. 2 various kinds of the same creature. But of course the sexes, because it is the same creature cut into 2, they must find each other to create the creature, the next generation. So again, the differentiation creates a tendency, a very strong tendency for unification. They are looking for each other. So now a whole organism is split into 2 organisms that are looking for each other. So this is very important, because it also creates a very strong sense of myself and the other that is like myself. It's not just me and the food, or me and the predator. It's me and the one like me. It's me and the one that I have to unite with, because we are one. We are the same. So it's a whole new perspective on reality that is coming in now through evolution, and that is creating the basis of the spiritual idea of unity, of seeking the other. So this is indeed a great leap towards the roots of future morality. The ability to create or to communicate with another and see within the other a form of self. The ability to distinguish another creature that is like me. And so the very appearance of a sexual reproduction on Earth is the beginning of morality, the beginning of communication. Also, this innovation, the innovation of sexuality, gave rise to many aspects of communication, of of systems, very sophisticated systems, that to tell one creature that the other is compatible with it. So it's a whole new world of opportunities for development, for evolution. And then, indeed, when sexual reproduction comes along, it comes along with the appearance of multicellular organisms, which is the amazing invention. It's a new concept of unity that many what were once unicellular organisms, many eukaryotes, are now working together in tandem, in harmony, and are subsumed in one enormous creature, one big creature that encompasses them all in one envelope, in one skin. And this is really something that is amazing, because if you think of each cell in the human body as a eukaryote, as a single cellular organism, then it's a great arrangement, because they get fed, there's order, there's organization, the big creature, the entire organism eats and drinks and feeds for each and every one of its cells. So as a eukaryote, if each cell could be conceived of as an individual, then it's a very good survival mechanism. It's a good way of feeding, getting together and doing things together. As usual, sociability is very good. You know, when there's more than one pulling its weight, then it's good. The new things can form. So all these cells are working together and creating an organism that eventually is far beyond them, transcend them in its ability to fend for itself, to do things, new senses, new organs, new development. The entire force of evolution is going to work on these creatures now. And all of evolution, the very variety of evolution, the color that we see, the many forms, they are all working on multicellular organisms. Because these organisms, these colonies of eukaryotes are actually a new thing. And all the old thing, the single cells that for many billions of years were the only things on Earth, now become subsumed in new creatures. And it's something new, novel, because if the cosmos was created 15 billion years ago, and the Earth 4.3 billion years ago, and the first prokaryote 3.8 billion years ago, and the first eukaryotes 2 billion years ago, then the first multicellulars just 600 million years ago. Not billion, million. So it's just like an instant in cosmic time since the first multicellular creature appeared. And this multicellular creature, it's a whole new ballgame. So, we have to remember that all these leaps and bounds are all interconnected organically, because everything is made from the same materials. Let's not forget, it's all the same molecules, the same elements, it's all recombinations, but each recombining brings another level. And the level is more life, more spirituality, more organization, more morality. It's in there. You can see the roots of everything that will flower, will come to fruition with man. You can see it being sown. The seeds are sown in the well springs of history. So now, 1600 million years ago, we begin to see all kinds of experiments as creatures begin to develop one after the other. 600 million years ago or so, we see probably the first multicellular creatures. You see, they are a kind of jellyfish, and this jellyfish already has symmetry, it has motion, there's a lot of things here. And then the jellyfish begin to shift, and we have 100 million years later, we begin to have creatures with symmetry down their bodies, there's so many different things, but there are fish in the oceans with vertebra, and then we get other types of fish, and then they lungfish, and they crawl on the earth, and then they become amphibian, and then they become reptiles, and the reptiles, they diverge, and there's birds, and there's mammals, and we see that everything is flowering and flowing, and the multicellular world, the world of Animalia, is becoming not Animalia, Eukaryota, all the world that is with multicellular world of eukaryotes is a new step in evolution, and it brings new complexity through this divergence. So, and all these are the sources of man, because mankind arose from this. It's not that the descent of man from apes. Apes is at the end of the ladder. It's the descent of man from suns. The descent of man from ancient supernova. It's the descent of man from the first prokaryotes, the first eukaryotes, the first multicellular organisms. So these ancient jellyfish, they are the mothers of all life on Earth, all the multicellular life. So it's all part of a huge process that is slowly creating something very, very novel in reality. But it's all just continuing from Big Bang. It's the same trend.